Hello once again, and welcome to the Clear Skies Retirement Podcast with Jay Kirkwood of Secure Financial Management. We've talked a lot about replacing your paycheck. That's one of the main questions that people have. I get this every 2 weeks. What am I getting in retirement? Well, part of that equation is talking about Social Security. Mass Mutual did a poll about Social Security. They went out. They don't use clipboards, I don't think, anymore. They use iPads probably now. But they went out there and they asked people 13 questions about Social Security. 78% of the people failed. They got a D or an F. So not so good on the Social Security knowledge. So this is a big part of our Social Security or our retirement paycheck. So people need to know, do you find people know a lot about Social Security? Do they know how much they're going to get? Do they know what their options are when they walk through your doors?
This score does not surprise me, Randy.
Okay.
Yeah, it really doesn't. So people, look, this is what people know about Social Security. There's supposed to be something there that I get at some age, and I've seen that line item for decades on my paycheck coming out, and I know that every couple of years it seems like it's going to run out.
Okay. That's what they say in the news.
That's right. That's what people know, and who can blame them?
Yeah.
Right? It's not a simple program to understand. And the problem with it, there's so much political talk about Social Security. Will it be there? Who's getting more of the value out of it? Is it, the rich taking to, there's so much that goes on with it that who knows what you're supposed to believe unless you learn about it and understand it for yourself.
So we know that we can start claiming at 62. We know that our full retirement age is 66 or 67. We know that the last age that we can delay it to is 70. A lot of people know that. The longer you wait, the bigger your check. But how do we know what's best for us?
I think you would have got a B+ on this.
I got a B.
I think so. You know quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
More than the average bear. Huh?
I think so. And see, this is where people get tripped up with Social Security. Oh, well, I can't get it till 65. That's Medicare. All right. So it's all these government programs and I know all this stuff starts to happen around the 60s somewhere. I just don't know where. But everything you said is pretty accurate, right? 62, early Social Security, full retirement age benefit. For most people listening is going to be somewhere between 66 and 67. And then it's not that you have to take it at 70. Actually, they would love if you didn't take it at 70.
Of course.
It's just
that they need better.
They stop giving you any sort of increases that justify the waiting, right? So if you wait till 71, you can, but you're not doing yourself any favors, right? So those are the three big ages. And the biggest thing that always comes up with this, what's the right age to take it? And what I always say to my clients is this: tell me your end date and I will drill this right down to the exact day you should take this.
When are you dying? I'll know for sure.
I'll back it in, right? So if you go and you YouTube or you Google, whatever it is, right? Almost all the articles are going to be, well, take it at 70, always wait till 70, always. Well, if you live to 100, yeah. Right? Like there's a break even here somewhere, right? And it's not 100. I was being a bit dramatic with that. But the truth is that the longer that you live, the more you should delay it. I don't know what that date is, do you?
No, nobody does.
Nobody does. That's exactly right. Okay. And so I can tell you that me and a lot of the other advisors we have are certified financial planners, and even the certified financial planning Bible, if you want to call it that, right? Would be, well, we always wait till 70. And the way I approach this is I'm not going to just default, and none of my other advisors are just going to default to what a textbook tells us should be done, or what an article written in Forbes tells us we should be done. Because everyone's going to get the same answer then, right? It's going to be 70 for everybody. Well, there's a couple things that go to play in that, right? Longevity is a big one. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen with
You can look at your family and say, my mom is still alive and she's 90.
That's all we got.
Yeah.
That's all we've got, right? So we can look at longevity, right? Then we go the other side of the scale, right? We have 62. Really, all of this stuff is based off the full retirement age, and we're either discounting the payment to get it before that, or discounting the benefit, or we're increasing it for delaying it, right? So yeah, we can go to the other side, 62. You take a pretty serious hit taking it at 62, right? If you look at 62 to 67, you notice a pretty big difference, okay? However, that's 60 payments, 5 years that you're getting in between that time that you wouldn't have otherwise gotten. And I can tell you, this is going to shock a lot of people. When we do our planning, this is what we say to people. If you have a strong opinion on when you want to take Social Security, happy to work with you on that. If you don't, we're putting in age 62.
Really?
Absolutely, we do. And there's a reason for that, a very scientific reason for that.
Okay.
That's just what people do.
Well, most people do take it as soon as it's available.
It's something like 70 or 80% of the population take it. They take it either at 62 or to the point I think you were making there is if you were still working, you wouldn't want to.
Right.
Because you're probably going to end up eliminating your benefit.
You
right?
lose a certain amount of taxes.
Once you earn over, and this isn't the exact figure, right? But roughly $20,000 a year, they start reducing that benefit. So really by the time you get up to 60,000 or so, it's eliminated completely.
Wow.
Right? Now, if you get technical, they go and they recalculate your full retirement age benefit to kind of put that money back in. It seems like a completely unnecessary bureaucratic waste of time, which makes perfect sense, right? But yeah, it's more complicated than that. But we use 62. Like I said, scientific, that's what people do, okay? There's another step to that we look at taking 62 for, right? And like, there's argument, you could argue back and forth all day long about these, okay? Your break-even points, depending on what you're comparing, 62 to 70, full retirement, whatever it is, right? They all start to coalesce somewhere around early 80s.
Okay.
Maybe late 70s, somewhere in there, right? Do you know why it starts to coalesce around there? That's about life expectancy.
Okay.
Okay. So if you are statistically living to life expectancy, which kind of nobody does, right? That's how it becomes that number is people ahead, people behind. That's why it comes to about that age, the age that they basically calculated that everybody will live to.
Okay.
Basically, the people that die earlier are funding the people that live longer. It's just, it's a pension, right?
Yeah.
It's the same, exact same sort of thing.
Gotcha.
Let's get back to my shocking point.
All right.
That we use age 62.
62. That's interesting to me.
So this is the truth. There are some people that they don't have the money to wait, right? So could you wait till 70 and, hey, I'm going to get 3,000 instead of 2,000 or whatever the numbers might be? Yeah, but there might be somebody that they don't have enough other income. They don't have enough other 401k. They don't have another pension, and they really just can't work till 70. Some people say, well, you should work till 70. What's the big deal? Well, what job are you doing?
Yeah.
If you're construction, that's pretty hard.
Yeah, if you're laying tile for a living and you got knee pads on, that's not working.
That's pretty tough at 70, right?
That's no good.
If you're driving long haul 18-wheelers, like, I mean, I've never had to do that, so I can imagine that's kind of a tough job, right?
Yeah.
If you're 68, 69, 70, that's kind of tough, right? So not everybody has that option.
Right.
Okay? This is the other big reason that we do it. If we don't use that retirement benefit, okay, so say we've got a client who's 62, they're getting $2,000 a month from Social Security. I'm just throwing numbers out here. Okay, $24,000 a year. And that's part of what we need to make their retirement plan work, along with other things. If we don't take the money from there, it's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
And what gets me on this, right, and some people agree with me, some people don't, is I've got two little girls, 2 and a 4-year-old. Hopefully I'm around for a long, long, long time. But I think about all sorts of things, right? And I think, if I don't take my Social Security, my $24,000 a year, it's got to come from somewhere, which means it's got to come from one of my assets. 401k, say, whatever it is, right? Assets that I can leave to my children or my wife. So if I don't take it at 62, I'm preserving a benefit that no one gets any sort of benefit from if I pass away, to draw down my assets that I can leave to my loved ones.
It's an inheritance thought.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I would rather my loved ones, I'd rather preserve those assets as long as I can for them and use my Social Security, who nobody gets any extra benefit of if I pass away.
Yep.
That's my thought. And that doesn't get brought up a lot.
Yeah, you're right.
And so I talk to clients about that and I say, hey, look, to us, frankly, we have no dog in this fight, right? Like, you take it when you see fit. Here's some things to think about, right? You can make the other argument. Well, you wait till 70 and then you draw less on it. Look, there's 1,000 arguments we can make on it. The way I look at it is, I'm taking what I can from a benefit that doesn't help my family if I pass away to preserve everything I can for them.
The $2,000 you're getting from Social Security, you don't have to take it from elsewhere. If you leave this world, that money goes on.
Absolutely.
I love it. Okay. Well, there's a lot to think about. And as we're going through that process we call the Get Me to Retirement 5-step process, sitting down with you and getting to know you, figuring out what you want to do in retirement. What are your hopes and dreams? What have you done to save for those hopes and dreams? The 401k, the pension, whatever it is. Then we do the analysis of that. And this is part of that. If you are wondering about Social Security and you see the headlines out there and it worries you, you want to pull the trigger right away at 62, well, let's talk through that. You want to wait till you're 66 and say, well, what's the difference between that and 70? Let's walk through that. There's a lot of different math to do. Find us online at clearskiesretirement.com. There you can schedule an appointment or learn more about Jay and the team at Secure Financial Management. Again, that's clearskiesretirement.com. If you enjoyed this podcast and you want to hear more, you can have it delivered straight to your favorite podcast platform by hitting that like, follow, or subscribe button. Again, thanks for listening to the Clear Skies Retirement Podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Investment advisory services offered through investment advisory representatives at Secure Financial Management, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed are not designed nor intended to be applicable to any person's individual circumstances. It should not be considered as investment advice, nor does it constitute a recommendation that anyone engage in or refrain from a particular course of action. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate, and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if Secure Financial Management is licensed in your state, please contact their office. Secure Financial Management is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Wholesalers Insurance. Jamin J. Kirkwood, Texas Insurance License number 1421850.